This is one of those times where I'm thankful that I have an emergency fund that I can fall back on. My accommodations in Taipei thus far has not been the best. Right now I've shifted to a hotel which will be my accommodation for the next 9 nights, and I'm thankful for my emergency funds because without the savings that I have, this would not be possible, topping up a few $100s extra just for the comfort and for the sanity of my mind. Let me bring you on a tour to Rhodes Hotel, Taipei. I'm not saying that the accommodation, the Airbnbs in Taipei is bad. If you are a person who is just traveling and you are spending most of your time exploring the city, then those small apartments are fine for you. However, in my situation, I needed a bigger space to be at and also have some space that I can actually do my work, because half the time I'm actually remote working as well. It was a very last minute decision, and after much contemplation, I decided to just fork out that extra few $100s for the sanity of my mind and for a designated space for me to do my work and also film the YouTube videos that I'm doing for you guys. This is my humble abode for the next few nights in Taipei, and after that we'll be shifting to another hotel. This place, honestly, everything cost me roughly about $700 over. My budget for Taipei has changed thus far, but it has made me realize the importance of an emergency fund, and because of the savings that I have in the emergency funds, I'm able to spend the extra money. It depends, every single individual, the willingness to spend on something varies, and what you see as an emergency might vary from mine. In such a scenario, because it is gonna be an extended period of time that I'm here, I really wanted a space for me to be able to focus and also grind. Productivity is something that's quite important to me, and I needed a clean and neat space to be able to be productive and be at my best, especially at the start of January 2023. Importance of an emergency fund. One other scenario was when I was in Jeju, South Korea. If you do not know, I actually spent 2.5 months in South Korea on a trip with my mom, and in Jeju I soiled my laptop because I spilled water on it and it was not covered by Apple Care. So a lesson learned here: if you're buying Apple products, please buy Apple Care together with it. It protects it from any accidental damages. However, I did not, and I only covered it for 1 year, which doesn't cover for water damage, and I panicked. I found a nearby Apple Care area and I asked them whether it could be fixed, but the answer was no, and I needed to buy a new laptop ASAP because I was still working remotely. So I still needed my laptop to do all of my work and all of the editing that I'm doing for YouTube, which was why I decided to buy a MacBook Air on the spot, and that was the situation that made the Utrip ATM withdrawal possible. I withdrew a large sum of money to pay back my Airbnb lady that actually helped me to purchase the MacBook Air for a cheaper price. This made me realize the importance of emergency funds because I didn't feel as stressed, as panicky as I would have been if I did not have any funds set aside. I would have resorted to borrowing from my mom, my siblings, to be able to fund something that I needed at that point in time. My scenario is not as bad as compared to, let's say, you ended up in the hospital and you needed to pay a large hospital bill. Up front, if you do not have that money, that would have been so much more stressful. But in my scenario, I thank God that it's not as bad as those situations. It still made it clear to me that having an emergency fund is important, which is why you should have two. And emergency funds is separate from all your other expenditures. It is one fund that you should only touch when, as the name goes, an emergency happens and you need to tap into those funds. That is when you use it. After I've touched on that emergency fund usage, I will have to save up and then top it up to its full sum again. If you're interested to know more about all this, in January we're gonna do a money spring cleaning, a 4-week episode where I'll be sharing more about how to clean up your finances for 2023, set yourself up for success, things like emergency fund allocations, credit card, which card to use, how to choose it, how to maximize the saving interest that you'll be getting. A lot of it is all coming up up in January 2023. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. This is my entire journey for my first week in Taiwan, and it has been an interesting one. Yesterday, I actually uploaded a post about my 9 months on YouTube, some thoughts that I had. If you are interested, the link to that post will be down below. It's available for free. Any thoughts in my mind with regards to money, I do share in the membership community on Buy Me a Coffee. Money wins, money struggles. It is for people who are like-minded to go on this journey together. So next 4 weeks in January 2023, let's do some spring cleaning on our finances, and I'll see you in the next video then. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.